guys, we're back on Show Jesus, and this time we're trying something new.
We're going to do a series on being a catalyst and what that's all about.
Yeah, you may not know what that means, but you're going to figure it out, and I hope that y'all really like it. So, again, this time we're talking about what a catalyst means, and if you are a catalyst, then you know that it's, the motto, I guess, is knowing God and making Him known. And so throughout the next 6 weeks, I think, we're just going to go into detail on how to do that and, like, what it means and, you know, stuff like that. It's going to be a surprise. Be excited. But this week, we're reading out of John 15 because that's kind of the, I don't know, like, theme verses.
Yeah, the theme verse of being a catalyst and kind of, like, what gets you into, like, understanding what that is. It's, like, the introduction to being a catalyst, so...
And also, just so y'all know, it's like non-denominational. Like that's the, I guess, religion that you would put it with if you were trying to go with one. Just so that, because a lot of people don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
But, okay, so John 15. Okay. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. Okay, so we're just going to break down what these verses mean. And so I'm the true vine, so He's ultimately what we're all connected to, I guess you could say. Yeah. He's the gardener, and He cuts off every branch that bears no fruit. So every branch in you that is not good, not holy, He's gradually, like, taking all of those away, so that you can become a better person if you're willing to do that. He doesn't just do it without you pursuing that also. And, every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. And this kind of took me by surprise when we first read it at D-Now, actually. But I didn't even know what prune meant. But prune means to... I don't even know how to explain it.
It's like you're trimming down the things that aren't going to produce as well, or things that just need to be trimmed down in your life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, so, like a couple months ago, I felt like I was being pruned in patience. So God takes areas of your life and puts you through situations and makes those areas better. And patience, it's like you're being pruned in patience because that's something you want to grow in, but He would cut off a branch like an addiction because that's not something you grow in, that's not something that you make better, that's something that He's taking away. Just clarification.
Okay, so the next part of this verse says, "You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me." So this verse basically is all about, or this part of the verse is all about abiding in Christ, which means to remain in Him, to be always following Him, and to always look to Him for in everything you do. I think it says, no branch can bear fruit by itself, which means we can't do anything by ourselves. We can't bear any good fruits by ourselves. We have to look to God to help us do that. It also says it must remain in the vine. Well, if God is the vine and we are the branches, then we have to stay on the vine. We can't just,
trail
leave
off
our vine and, then we're gone. So that's what that means.
And ironically, like if we didn't remain in Him, if we didn't remain in that vine, then like if a vine doesn't remain in the main vine, then it dies. And so if we ultimately don't remain in Him and don't remain in that vine, then we are leading ourselves to death, which is, it's kind of cool how that kind of plays out. I literally just thought of that on the spot.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so next. So we skipped a little bit, and then we're going to the yellow verse down there. Okay. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be made complete. I thought this was so cool because when talking about pruning and cutting off bad branches, it can be kind of like depressing, like, oh my gosh, that's such a long process. And I mean, if you are a gardener, you know that is a long process. Like, you don't just boom, have flowers. Like, it takes a while. But it's just, another one of God's promises that he's given us, that if we do this, that we will have joy, and that we can have joy during the process. Like, we don't have to be down in the dumps when we are being pruned, and we can just know that the end result is going to be awesome, and have joy then, and then have even more joy, and our joy can be made complete when we're done with it.
Yep. So the next verse is, greater love has no one than this, that laid down his life for his friends. So this is basically talking about God's love for us. It says, greater love has no one than this. God has so much love for us that there is nothing greater. No one can ever give you love that is any greater than his. He says that his love is so great because he laid his life down for his friends. He is calling us, the people who follow him, those who remain in him, those who abide in him, his friends. The fact that we get to be called his friends is even ridiculous because we can't even compare to him, and he's saying, you're my friend and I'm willing to die for you. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but there are very few people I would die for, you know? So, and they're my friends. They're my very close friends who I would die for. They're not just anyone per se. And God is saying that his love is so great that he's calling all of us his friends, and he would die for all of us, which is pretty great to me, so.
And I think it also just makes it so awesome when God talks about his friends and stuff, because it just makes us it makes like our friendships on earth even more powerful, that because we're called to be like Jesus. And so if he would do that for his friends, then although we may never reach it, we have to strive to be like that for our friends. And the next and last verse that we have for you guys in John 15 is, you did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. So that is the ultimate and like the greatest thing out of this whole thing, is that he's saying that like we did not choose him. Like, you may have asked Jesus into your heart and all of that, but like, he chose us before we ever chose him. Like it says in Psalms, he knew us when we were in our mother's womb and knitted us together, and he chose us and made us and had a plan for us before we ever even knew how to talk, and he's appointed us to go and bear fruit, and to go. I think when he says bear fruit, he means like make other vines, so like bring other people to Christ, and that is what a catalyst is. That is knowing God, that is abiding in him, like Lana's talked about, and making him known by going and making more fruit that will last. So not giving someone a temporary fix on something, but giving them the permanent fix of Jesus. And then after you do that, God will give you whatever you want because of Jesus. So he will give you the promises that you've made, but just remember that what we ask, we may not get in the way that we think we're going to get.
Yep, it'll be even better and bigger than we probably could have ever imagined. So, yeah, it's just really crazy that to think like he chose us. And when you look, like, people may not like think that, oh, he's choosing me, but look at the story. I mean, read the Bible. He tells you right there, Jesus died for us before I wasn't born even close to when Jesus was put on the cross. So he was dying for me before anyone even knew about me. I mean, my parents weren't even around then, so no one knew about me yet. And he died for me. He knew about me. So that's just something that's crazy, you know. I didn't even have a choice. He chose me.
It's amazing what God has given us, and we can only do so much to give him anything in return. But I think that this is definitely something that is so intriguing about this certain, I don't know, like denomination, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm so excited. We're so excited about the series that's coming up, and I really hope that you guys stay tuned the next couple of weeks and see what it has to do.
Yep.
So, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.